Freedom isn't given, it's earned. And not once, but daily. In every decision, every pause, every moment you choose alignment over comfort. So when the fire fades and the path feels lonely, remember what you're really building. You're not just building habits. You're building a self that refuses to quit, a self that keeps showing up. Think of the Stoics. They didn't hope life would be easy. They trained for the storm. And when the storm came, they didn't fall apart. They stood firm. So if you fall, fall with awareness. Learn something, then rise. Again and again. Because the master is not the one who never falls. It's the one who always gets back up. Now you know the path. You've seen the steps. You've felt the truth. So the question is no longer, can you do this? The real question is, will you choose to walk it every single day? Because this journey doesn't demand perfection. It demands courage. The courage to choose mastery over comfort. The courage to stop being ruled by your circumstances and start ruling from within. Each day, life will offer you two choices: to drift or to lead, to react or to respond, to give your power away or to own it. Self-mastery isn't just a concept, it's a way of living. It's how you reclaim your time, your focus, your soul, one conscious action at a time. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Growth always is. But it's through that discomfort that your strength is forged. So I ask you right here, right now, will you keep waiting for the world to change? Or will you become the force that changes you? Your power doesn't lie in the future. It lives in your next decision. So make it count. Choose mastery, choose strength, choose to lead your life before life decides to lead it for you. If this message spoke to something inside you, if even one idea made you pause, reflect, or feel stronger, then don't let it end here. Drop a comment below. What's one step you will take today toward mastering yourself? Subscribe to the channel. We share tools, insights, and Stoic wisdom to help you lead your life with clarity and courage every single week. And if this video helped you, give it a like. It helps others find this message right when they need it most. You're not alone on this journey. We're building a community of people who are choosing growth every day. Thanks for being here. Now go out and lead yourself boldly. Not because you want those things to happen, but because when you mentally walk through those outcomes ahead of time, you build a kind of inner armor. You won't be paralyzed when adversity shows up, because in a way, you've already seen it. Think of a boxer in the ring. They never assume every punch will miss. They train to take hits. They brace, they pivot, they adapt. That's exactly how your mind needs to work. The more rigid your expectations, the easier it is for life to shatter them. But if you loosen your grip a little, if you stay mentally flexible, you'll be able to adjust, respond, and keep moving forward. That's the first key to becoming mentally unshakable. Not by ignoring the punches, but by expecting them, rehearsing them, and preparing to rise when they land. You don't need to control everything. You just need to be ready for anything. 2. Building mental strength. Let's talk about something we all wish we had more of: mental strength. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. Resilience doesn't just show up when life gets hard. It's not some magic switch that flips on during a crisis. It's something you build every single day, just like a fighter training for a match. Think about a boxer. They don't wait for fight night to test their endurance. They train every day, taking hits in the gym, pushing their limits, building muscle not just in the body, but in the mind. That's exactly how mental toughness works. And it starts in the smallest moments. When your train gets delayed, when you spill coffee on your shirt, when your computer crashes right before an important meeting. Those aren't just annoyances. They're opportunities to train your patience, to build your calm, to practice self-control. The Stoics had a word for this kind of training: voluntary discomfort. They would fast, take cold baths, even sleep on hard floors, not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they understood this: if you can face discomfort by choice, you'll handle discomfort by surprise. When you challenge yourself intentionally, you expand your ability to handle the challenges life throws at you without warning. And the real shift comes when you stop asking, Why is this happening to me? And start asking, how can I grow through this? Epictetus said it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. The pain is real, of course it is, but the suffering, that voice in your head that says, this is unfair, or I can't handle this, that part we can control. That part is a story we write ourselves. And the good news? You can rewrite it. Start paying attention to your inner dialogue. Start noticing when you react and choose instead to respond. Each time you do, you get a little stronger, a little calmer, a little more prepared for what's next. Resilience isn't born, it's built. And your training starts now. 3. The power of strategic retreat, knowing when to step back. Here's a truth that goes against everything we've been taught about strength. Sometimes the strongest move isn't charging forward, it's stepping back. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, constant action, and pushing through. But real wisdom, the kind that endures battle after battle, knows that there's power in pausing. There's courage in stepping away, not as a sign of surrender, but as a strategy for survival. Think of a seasoned boxer. When they're caught in a storm of punches, they don't just stand there and take it. They duck. They dodge. They create space. Why? Because sometimes defense is the smartest offense. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, said, the best cure for anger is delay, and that's more than poetic, it's practical. When emotions run high, when pressure builds, when everything in you wants to react, pulling back gives you time. Time to breathe, time to observe, time to strategize instead of self-destruct. Strategic retreat allows you to protect your energy, your most precious resource, because let's be honest, not every battle is worth fighting. And not every fight is yours to win today. Marcus Aurelius put it best, you have power over your mind, not outside events. In other words, you might not control what's happening around you, but you always control how you respond. That's where your real power lives. The strong aren't the ones who never rest. They're the ones who know when to rest and why. Think about your own life. Is there something you're holding on to out of pride, ego, or fear? Something that's draining you but no longer serving you. Maybe the real strength is walking away. Not forever, but long enough to regroup. Long enough to return with clarity, energy, and a better plan. Strategic retreat isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And the person who knows when to step back is the one most likely to come back stronger. So if you need to pause, pause. If you need to pull back, do it with purpose. Because when you fight the right battles, at the right time, on your own terms, you win. 4. The power of perspective, turning obstacles into opportunities. Here's something powerful to remember. Life isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you see what happens to you. Your perspective is everything. The Stoics believed that the greatest strength a person could have wasn't control over the world. It was control over how they interpret the world. And they were right, because the same event that breaks one person builds another. Take a moment and think, when was the last time life threw something at you that felt unfair, painful, maybe even cruel? Now ask yourself, what if that wasn't a punishment, but a lesson? A true warrior doesn't look at adversity and ask, why me? They ask, what is this here to teach me? Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, said, the obstacle to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That's not just philosophy, that's strategy. Diamonds are formed under extreme pressure. Swords are forged in fire. Champions are made through pain. Without resistance, there's no strength. Without struggle, there's no growth. Your greatest setback could be the very thing that redirects your life towards something better, if you're willing to see it that way. The job you lost? Maybe it pushed you toward a passion you never would have explored. The relationship that ended? Maybe it taught you what self-respect really looks like. The failure that humbled you? Maybe it planted the seeds of wisdom that success never could. Changing your perspective doesn't mean denying reality. It means redefining it, on your terms. You get to decide, is this a dead end or a detour? Is this a punishment or preparation? The moment you shift your perspective, everything else starts to change. Pain becomes purpose. Loss becomes clarity. Struggle becomes transformation. So the next time life throws a wall in your path, don't just see the wall. See the climb. See the breakthrough. See the version of you that's waiting on the other side. Because what stands in the way becomes the way. 5. Unbreakable will. The relentless spirit that wins. Here's something every great fighter, leader, and survivor knows deep in their bones. Victory doesn't always belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most relentless. You don't win at life by never falling. You win by refusing to stay down. Some of the greatest boxing legends in history, Ali, Tyson, Foreman, they've all been knocked to the canvas, hard. But what made them champions wasn't just their skill. It was their will, their refusal to give up when everything in them screamed to stay down. And that's something you and I can learn from. Epictetus, a Stoic who was once a slave, taught this powerful truth. You may not control your circumstances, but you always control your response. Your job might let you down, your plans might collapse, life might hit you with heartbreak, failure, even tragedy, but none of it can touch your will unless you let it. An unbreakable will doesn't mean you're always fearless or optimistic. It means you show up anyway. It means when life whispers, give up, you whisper back, not today. It's quiet, it's steady, and it's undefeated when nurtured. This kind of inner strength isn't loud, it's not flashy. It's that quiet fire that burns inside the person who just won't quit. Think about your own life. When did you keep going even when no one saw you? Even when you had every excuse to stop? That right there is willpower. And the truth is, most people give up right before the breakthrough, right before the tide turns, right before it gets better. So here's your reminder. You are not powerless. You don't have to control everything. You just have to control what's in front of you. Your attitude, your actions, your resolve. Because at the end of the day, the one who wins is not the one who never stumbled. It's the one who kept walking. Build that unbreakable will, and there is nothing in this life that can keep you down. So let's bring it all together. Life is a fight, not a fair one, not always a clean one, but a fight worth showing up for. And if you've watched this far, I know one thing about you. You're not here to give up. You're here to win. The Stoics gave us 5 principles, not just to survive the chaos of life, but to rise from it stronger than before. First, they taught us to prepare premeditatio malorum, to rehearse hardship in the mind before it strikes in real life. Because a prepared mind doesn't panic, it pivots. Second, they showed us the value of daily mental training. Just like a fighter builds strength through repetition, we build resilience through everyday discomfort. Missed trains, spilled coffee, the little frustrations that become reps for the soul. Third, they taught us the art of strategic retreat. Not every hill is worth dying on. Knowing when to step back isn't cowardice, it's strategy. It's saving your strength for the fight that actually matters. Fourth, they revealed the power of perspective. The obstacle isn't the end of your journey, it's the beginning of your breakthrough. Diamonds, steel, champions, all forged through pressure. And finally, they reminded us of the ultimate force, unbreakable will. The world may knock you down 100 times, but the victory goes to the one who stands up the 101st. Because Stoicism isn't just about enduring life's blows, it's about transforming them into fuel for greatness. And this is just the beginning. In upcoming videos, we're going to break each of these principles down even further. We'll show you how to apply them in your work, your relationships, and the daily struggles that chip away at your peace. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because life isn't slowing down, and neither are we. This channel exists to help you turn pain into purpose, chaos into clarity, and hardship into strength. Until next time, remember, the fight is real, the punches are coming, but so is your victory, and it starts not someday, but right now.